What's going on YouTube? Detroit Reap here with another video, and today we're going to be going over my wish list or predictions for E3. So this is just going to be about Nintendo and Nintendo only. So these are my top 10 or my 10 predictions, as you would say. So let's go ahead and get started for Nintendo. So what I expect to see from Nintendo is I expect to see a couple of the obvious choices. So what I would think that they are going to do, I think they're going to show us the Star Fox game, of course, but here's the thing that I think they're going to add to the game that will make it unique for the Wii U. I think it's going to have an offline and online multiplayer and co-op. Now that could be like, I don't know how many players, maybe like 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 or whatever it is, but I feel like you're going to be able to do that off and online. Well, at least online for like a higher number of multiplayer games, and offline it'll probably be like 4 or 5. You know, I expect to see that, and I am excited to see what they're gonna do with that game, because it just seemed like it's one of the bigger games that they were focusing on this E3. So number 2, my number 2 is that the Wii U and the new 3DS Pokemon game will be announced, with the Wii U version being in 3D. And you'll be able to somehow sync the two devices. So with the new 3DS, I feel like putting a new Pokemon game on there will, of course, make the new 3DS sell better. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's selling pretty well right now, but I feel like it'll be better once they put a Pokemon game on there, because that's a lot of people flock to Pokemon games, and I think the Wii U needs a Pokemon game. It's been a long time. I think the last one was like Coliseum, or there was one after that, and you know, it was kind of a fake 3D, like you had to steal people's Pokemon or whatever, and it was like, that's not how we want to play Pokemon, you know what I mean? So I expect them to do a new 3D Pokemon game for the Wii U, and I don't know how it will sync with the 3DS version or how it's gonna work, but I feel like they will figure out something to connect these two games together. So that is my number 2 prediction, or wish list, whatever you want to call it. Number 3, Metroid will return and will be a Retro Games project. I think that Retro has been working on a couple titles for Nintendo, and they've already done, I think, I think they've done Donkey Kong enough. I feel like they're ready to do something different, and I feel like everybody is waiting for that Metroid game. So I think that that's what's gonna come back. It's gonna be, I don't know. I think that's good. I think that's what they're gonna probably be working on. Now, my number 4. An old NES or Super Nintendo IP will return. Now, I have no idea what that could be. I feel like they have a number of old classic IPs from back in the day that they could just, like, pull from and use that to make a new game for either the Wii U or the new 3DS. I'm not 100% sure which they're going to go with. So that's my number 4. My number 5, Donkey Kong will have a new game that will be open world. The last open world Donkey Kong game was on the 64, and even though for back then it was a good game, it had a lot of problems. Like, they had way too many things to collect, and it wasn't like Banjo-Kazooie and other games like that, but it was just too much. It was like overwhelming, but it was a good game, and I feel like they're gonna do another Donkey Kong game, and it'll be in a 3D open environment. So that's my number 5. So number 6, F-Zero will return with customizable cars and tracks. I feel like Mario Kart was like the standard for racing games, and F-Zero was like, back in the day, it was one of those heavy racing games. It was really unique. I really loved that game. It was kind of difficult at times, but it was fun. So I feel like enough people are waiting for that game to come back, and I do feel like they will come back, and it's gonna be able to customize our cars and put different things on it to try and make it race different, you know, for handling and speed and boosters and stuff like that. I feel like they're gonna do that. I do feel like they're gonna have customizable tracks, only because I feel like that will help the game longevity of the game last longer. So that is my number 6. Number 7, Zombie U 2. It will be announced. I don't care what anybody says. Zombie U was probably the first unique game that the Wii U had, and it looked like it was going to be a very good game. It had a couple problems, but other than that, I think it was a good enough game. I don't know if it sold very well though, but I do think it deserves a sequel, and they could fix a couple of the problems that they did have in that game. So I think that's going to be pretty interesting. If that happens, I'll be surprised. Number 8. Alright, so this one's going to probably get some people. Capcom will give Nintendo an exclusive game. I'm thinking like Mega Man, a new Mega Man game, or a new IP. Not sure which one they'll probably do. I feel like Capcom they've been partnering up with each company. Like with Microsoft, they teamed up for Dead Rising, and for PlayStation, they have that new free-to-play game, that Deep Down game that's coming out. But Nintendo doesn't have anything from the Capcom, and Capcom has a very good relationship with Nintendo, so I'm not sure why they haven't done anything yet. I do think that they will make them something. I feel like this is going to be what it is. I think it's going to be Mega Man, because everybody, you know, associates Mega Man with Nintendo, and that's why I believe that they're going to give them that. Now, number 9. Okay, Nintendo will have a new IP for the Wii U. I'm thinking maybe a JRPG, and I kind of threw this in there, and maybe Bravely Default. Bravely Default did very well on the 3DS, and it did surprisingly well in the US. So I would expect it to do just as well on the Wii U as it did on the 3DS. So that's why I believe that's going to come to the Wii U. I think that's kind of a wishful thinking though. And my number 10, Amiibos will get their own IP, or their own game. Something kind of similar to Skylanders or the Lego games. I feel like, you know, you create these toys to interact with every game now, but they need a reason for people to buy them. I don't feel like putting, you know, stats on a character and, you know, in Smash Brothers is going to be enough. So I feel like they will make an IP for the game, and if they do this, it will be very interesting to see Mario, Donkey Kong, and you know, all these Nintendo IPs playing together on one screen, or if it is on one screen. So I think that would be very interesting. You guys tell me what you guys think is going to happen, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Keep killing the game. Peace.